Monday today, and another successful week in training. It started out on Tuesday with the 20 by 400, which I did a video on. Then also I did the 25k run with the 15k of efforts, which didn't really go as well as I wanted, but the conditions didn't help there. All in all though, it was a 70-mile week, so that was really good. I was really pleased with that. And that was all just on singles as well, so there's no double running in there yet, but I'm starting to look to do that now just to try and bump the mileage up a little bit and add some extra recovery runs into my training. Now the plan this week is, today's Monday, and tonight I'm going to be doing my session because again the weather's not looking good the next couple of days, whereas tonight it looks pretty much perfect. So tonight I'm going to do 12 by a K off 90 seconds recovery. Quite a tough one. That's a bulky track session. I was toying with the idea of doing 16 off a shorter recovery, but I think that's maybe a little bit too much for the track. The other option was to do 1k on, 1k off on the roads, but I feel like that's quite similar to what I did on Friday. So I just want to try and mix things up a little bit and maybe get a little bit more speed into my legs whilst I still can. Now I had some good news in the last few days. I got my entry into Chicago confirmed, so I'm really pleased about that. Got my flights and hotel all booked, so that's now set in stone. So that's a race which is 100% on the calendar for me and a primary target. Also some good news for London after pulling on a few strings with friends and sponsors from my past. I've all but been confirmed for that too, so I'm really pleased to be targeting that as well next year. So that gives me a good focus over the winter, and then I can kind of iron out any problems from London moving into Chicago. But we'll see what the winter brings and what type of shape I get into for that. But yeah, a spring marathon and an autumn marathon, so can't wait. Back to tonight's session. That's going to be a tough one. I'm going to do that on the track in Morpeth. I'll probably put my carbon shoes on for that one again and hopefully try and get into the session and progress well through the reps and try and finish it strong and see what kind of K reps I can put out. Looking forward at my schedule. I've got some nice stuff planned out over the next few weeks. Next week's session looks quite a good one. That is mile reps and 400 meter reps alternating. So that's that'll really bite. But I'm looking forward to that one. This week I've just got a nice controlled long run. Nothing. It's not a session as such. But obviously it's a key long run because it's going to be about 17-18 miles. And the long run next week is, again, it's similar sort of distance, but I'll be picking up to marathon pace within that run at some point. So that will that'll really test my legs. And mileage wise, because I've not really done a lot over the last few years, but I've just been gradually increasing things. I kind of got up to maybe like 40-50 miles in my build up to the Great North Run. I think one week maybe touched 60. Then I'm now just trying to consistently run 60 and 70 mile weeks. If I can do that for a few weeks and cope with it and see that I'm not going to get injured, I'm not going to get too fatigued, especially with the workload from all these big sessions, I'll then gradually increase again. Currently I'm not planning to go above 85, 90. That's probably my upper limit of what I think is a good balance for my age, my ability, my risk of injury, and also kind of what worked for me in the past. I was never a big mileage runner, very much try and get some quality in the weeks and get rid of the junk miles. The only downside to setting my own sessions is the indecision. It's not just a case of looking at my plan and going, right, I'm doing that. I've spent all morning mulling over whether I should do 8 times a K, 10 times a K, 12 times a K, 16, whether I should do K on, K off. It's difficult, and that's a big negative to coaching myself, and I'm seriously considering looking to work with somebody just for for just them putting their foot down, just saying, no, that's what you're doing, get on with it. And sometimes I do need that. I'm fairly good at planning out sessions, but sometimes not the best at looking at the bigger picture and then also changing my mind. I'll generally do the session I set out to do. Once I start to warm up, I won't change it on the fly, because I think that's really bad. That's really weak-minded if you do that. But I will overanalyze sometimes going into it and the day before or the morning of, and that's what I've been doing today. But I've settled on 12 by a K off 90. I think that's a really good solid session for this period of training. Ticks the boxes on the 10K, the half marathon type strength, and keeps the leg speed in there for the 5K, 10K, and even half marathon. You need that speed for the half. And then yeah, I'll move into the longer stuff for marathon. Now I kind of know where things are headed for next year, so I'll just plan accordingly. Just after 5 o'clock and the dark nights are here. Welcome to the winter. So we're just on a warm up, heading to the track. Oh, it's very dark. Oh, it's going to be open. Relying on someone from the club being there. I'm told there's a group there tonight, so should be fine. But the backup is up and down this road. If not, because this road's a kilometre. Pretty perfect, really, for K reps. But ideally, I want to do this on the track, so I'll prepare for that. But yeah, I'm just going to get warmed up and then get cracking in the next half hour or so. Right, done my jogging, changing shoes now. Do some strides. I'm wearing these ones. I'll do some strides and then it's go time. I'm going to set out 3:15s to begin with. Get 2 or 3 under my belt and see where I'm at, and then adjust accordingly. And I'm going to try and give it some welly on the last 4. See how we go. It'll be nice if I can get close to the 3-minute mark. Delighted with that. But this will be a grinder. This will grind me down. I won't feel the pace for the first half. First 6 should be easy, but it'll really start to bite as I get into it. Oh, session done. Felt amazing on that. Really good. Aim was 3:15s to get down to 3-minute Ks, and it's probably 3:02, 3:01 average. And I say the last 6 or so 3 minutes or quicker. But yeah, that felt great. Really enjoyed that. Oh, a lot of laps though. Calves are feeling it a little bit now, but got a nice, well, easier week. Nothing too strenuous. The weekend, just a long steady run. But yeah, plenty of time to recover and into next week's session. But yeah, loved that. Absolutely loved it.